Yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. It seems that the investigations when it comes to the Liberal government and their dealings, whether it's the Green Slush Fund, whether it's a Rive scam, whether it's anything else, Justin Trudeau's scandals are starting to catch up with him at a time where Liberal approval ratings are at their all-time ultimate low, at a time where Justin Trudeau is being urged out not only by the public, by his own party, to step down and leave office, and there are threats of an election looming. The work hasn't stopped inside Parliament. Even though parliamentary work has stopped and Justin Trudeau is still slated to prorogue Parliament, we still have conservatives that seem to be working towards getting answers for Canadians. I wanted to highlight a tweet that came out today from Stephanie Kusi, friend of the channel. Again, I've had her on the show. Bad news for Justin Trudeau, good news for taxpayers. We'll see about that. I'm going to get into my opinions on that. Auditor General is launching an investigation into GC Strategies, the shady two-person company who received over $100 million in contracts from the NDP Liberal government since Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister. So, what does this mean? Let's take a look at the actual letter, and then we'll discuss. So, dear Mr. Speaker, we've taken note on the 17th of September 2024, the House of Commons unanimously adopted a motion to concur with the 13th report of Standing of Committee on the Government Operations and Estimates, which requested that the Auditor General of Canada conduct a performance audit on a priority basis of all payments to GC Strategies and other companies incorporated by the co-founders. All contracts with the Government of Canada, including all departments, agencies, and Crown corporations, including all subcontracts which GC Strategies and the before mentioned have been awarded under those contracts, meaning they want all the receipts, they want all the paperwork, any money that flowed out towards them, whether it was the government, whether it was a subsidy, it all gets recorded at this point. They want the whole paper trail. We wish to inform the House that we will conduct a performance audit. We are in the process of gathering information that will allow us to properly scope and plan the audit based on our mandate and available resources. Our scope may be affected by document retention policies, as some relevant information may no longer be available. We will inform the House of the timing of the audit once the scope has been determined, and we'll submit our findings to Parliament as soon as possible after we complete the audit work. And of course, it's signed down below by the Auditor General of Canada, Karen Hogan. Again, this is good news. I don't want to sound like it's not good news, but again, when I had Stephanie Kusi on the channel, I asked her several times, why do we do these committees if they don't result in arrests? Are we going to see arrests? Are we going to see criminal charges towards somebody or some form of recouping of our money? When you think back to a Rive scam, it was $100 million that went out to an app that could have been developed for $100,000, as we've been told in other studies. This is just like the SDTC, Justin Trudeau funneling out money to his good friends. I want to show you a clip of Garnet Jennis. Now, this was about 5 months ago, sitting in the House of Commons, and of course, you see good old Karen and Nita Anand coming back saying that, hey, it's blame it on Stephen Harper, blame it on anybody but the Liberals. It's not our fault that we give money to our friends. Let's take a quick listen, and then again, we'll chat about what I believe is going to happen in these findings.
You served as Minister of Public Services and Procurement and President of the Treasury Board during the period of the Rive scam scandal. There are two major outstanding questions that I hope I can get answers to today. The first is, why was GC Strategies so special to the Trudeau government? And secondly, what were Liberal ministers doing while this was unfolding? Now, on the first question, GC Strategies was founded in 2015. It has done extensive and lucrative work with your government, receiving contracts and then subcontracting. They've been a go-to contractor and advisor, even though their business is simply to get contracts and subcontracts. In fact, Christian Firth spoke yesterday about being flattered, about being a go-to advisor and resource from the government, even asking questions about what the content of contracts of RFPs would be that he would then bid on. So I want to ask you, what did your government see in GC Strategies? Why did you have this special relationship with them?
I had no meetings with GC Strategies. I have no...
Just to clarify, I'm talking about the government. I'm not talking about you personally, but
background as to why those individuals were contracted with. When I first learned about the ArriveCan application, it was at COVID committee meetings during the pandemic, and it was in the context of protecting the borders. But I do understand that predecessors to this company were under contract with the government of Stephen Harper. That is the company called Cordell, I believe. And so the question can be asked of the Harper government as well.
Minister, the company was founded in 2015, and even any other such companies had much lower magnitudes. I want to drill down on this question. You've hopefully at least asked some questions about it, even if you didn't know about it until recently. Your own department did about $10 million in contracts with GC Strategies. Christian Firth testified that that he was gone to multiple times for advice on RFPs. So I do want to ask the minister again, because the minister is responsible for the department. Have you sought information about the close relationship between the government and GC Strategies? I'm just trying to understand why GC Strategies was this go-to for the government for so long.
Actually, thank you for the question. I thank my honourable colleague for the question. Of course, I've sought information. I'm an extremely thorough and systematic minister.
Great.
I have found that it is 10 contracts. None are active at the current time, and the amount is $9.97 million. I have been briefed repeatedly by my team. I have sought information from the department.
No, but I'm asking the why question. Let me jump in because you're giving me numbers that I already have. But I'm asking the why question. Why was GC Strategies a constant go-to?
Well,
you didn't just give them contracts. You asked them for advice about what should go into RFPs. All of us have found represented this company to be completely uncredible and dishonest. What did your government see in this company that you just kept coming back to them for deals?
This is a piece of information that can be answered only by CBSA, not by me as president of the Treasury Board. They are the ones who approved this contract. They are the ones who were engaged with the suppliers.
I do have to move on. But
difficult for me to
aside from ArriveCan, your department did 10.
So again, you see the filibustering going on, the word salad. Anita Anand, of course, deflecting. It's all the Harper government. Harper started it. It's not my fault that my office spent $10 million without, clarifying with me, as she said at the beginning of the questions that she never held a meeting with GC Strategy. She doesn't know anything about them. Yet her office, which she's responsible for, gave out $10 million. This is nothing more than rats again fleeing a sinking ship. Of course, the ultimate question, and again, I'm going to go back about 5 months to another video clip, is of the same Conservative member, Garnet Jen, is asking, are you going to return the money to Canadians? That's the one thing I've been after ever since we had Garnet Jennis on the channel, since we had Stephanie Kusi on the channel. Again, no direct answer, because, they don't have a crystal ball. They can't predict what's going to happen. But let's take a look again at them asking about the money being returned.
The Prime Minister's Arrive scam led to unprecedented testimony before this House of Commons, which the Liberal House Leader tried to shut down. And no wonder. This scam, which the NDP and Liberals voted for, cost taxpayers at least $60 million. Parliament ordered the government to pay the money back, but Liberals have not even asked for it to be returned. Now the RCMP have come knocking. After 9 years, this Prime Minister is not worth the cost, the corruption, or the crime. Will the Prime Minister finally follow the direction of Parliament and get back the Arrive scam cash?
The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, my honourable friend knows that this government always works collaboratively with Parliament. We've done so in many cases. In fact, parliamentary committees have also looked into this matter, and government officials have been, of course, available to answer all their questions and provide documents. As my colleague, the Minister of Public Services and Procurement, made clear, Mr. Speaker, there are internal audits taking place. The RCMP are also seized with this issue. We think it would be appropriate to allow these investigations to conclude, and I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, the government will always take steps to recuperate taxpayers' money that was inappropriately expended and hold those accountable that have abused taxpayers' money.
So again, they're saying allow the audits to go forward. Now, this was 5 months ago. Now, of course, you can't spell liberal without lie. But again, what we can take away from it is that the audit is moving forward on behalf of the Conservatives. Personally, if you were to ask me what's going to come of it, I'm very biased to say I don't believe anything will come from it. Of course, we'll have more information. We'll get more documentation as to who was responsible, what was spent, but it's going to be nothing more than sticker shock to see how corrupt and how low our government has gone. I don't believe that any money is going to be returned to taxpayers, even as Dominic LeBlanc says, they will not return a single dime to taxpayers. This was $60 million absolutely wasted out of our pockets, out of the working class pockets. But again, when you compare that to SDTC and everything else that's going on, over the tune of $500 million of taxpayer money getting funneled out, on top of all the money laundering with the Ukraine and everything else Justin Trudeau has done, this is why Canada is in the state that it's in. And it's going to be interesting to see as this government continues to collapse. Again, I'll hold my skepticism, but I'm going to be curious to see if anything comes out of GC Strategies inquiry or audit, other than some facts that we already knew about corruption. Let me know what you guys think down below if it's your first time here. I hope this video's earned your subscription. Make sure to hit that button, join the channel, give a thumbs up and a comment on the way out if you enjoyed the content. It helps to push our videos out there for others to see. Hit your bell for notifications. Join me live here on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, my live streaming show, where we go over everything that's happened this week in politics, everything coming up in the week ahead, as well as back and forth within the community, joined by my beautiful wife, Mrs. Fringe. I look forward to seeing you guys each and every Friday here on the channel for Friday Night Fringe and chatting with you all starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central every Friday night here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.